Assalamu alaikum guys. So today I'll be taste testing the 6 different varieties of pomegranates that I'm growing in my orchard, in my fruit forest. So first we have the Lebanese number 1. So I've got 2 types of Lebanese pomegranates. This is what I call number 1 variety. As I've said before, it's the hardiest. The Lebanese or the Middle Eastern types in general are the hardiest out of all the pomegranate varieties that I've come across in terms of disease resistance, pest resistance, minimum issues, plant and forget type of plants, type of pomegranates. So that's what these varieties of pomegranates are, the Lebanese or Middle Eastern ones in general. So they have a very thick skin, and they give the pests and critters a very hard time to penetrate through compared to the other red varieties. They're very soft and thin-skinned, so they can easily be penetrated, and that's why most people have a hard time growing these varieties if they don't want to spray or stay on top of the netting and protection and so on. Okay, so I've got Lebanese number 1, Parfianka number 2, the Russian variety, which has the reputation of being the best tasting of them all. And so far I agree, so far. That has the perfect balance of sweet and sour, sugars and acidity. It balances them perfectly. And one second, let me fix this up. And it's excellent variety, very soft seeded. That's another characteristics of this variety, which makes it a winner when it comes to tasting as well. So not only the flavor is excellent, it's also the texture and the fact that it's got very soft seeds, very pleasant to eat. Although productivity so far is average so far for me, and it does have it's very susceptible to pests, specifically fruit fly and critters like that. They do penetrate it very easily. Next to that is the Azerbaijani pomegranate. According to with my experience growing these, they are the worst out of the varieties that I have in terms of resistance to pests and just spoilage and issues. They are very, very susceptible to pests and diseases, and very finicky. It doesn't take much for you to lose a pomegranate off the tree. In fact, I think I've lost every single one. This is the most decent one out of and it was very productive, mind you. I lost most of them. They dropped due to pests and diseases and fruit flies and so on. They don't cope well. They don't have a good defense mechanism. The Azerbaijani, although they're excellent tasting, usually I rate it number 2 after Parfianka. Excellent tasting fruit, but very, very difficult or finicky to grow. It needs a lot of care compared to others. Next to that is the reliable, wonderful, the Californian bred variety of pomegranates. It's actually a commercial variety, excellent pomegranate in terms of tasting, really good tasting pomegranate. The seeds are a little bit harder than most, especially when you compare it to other more pleasant varieties of pomegranate. It is a little bit harder, but it does have an excellent taste. Consistently productive year after year. That's why they use it as a commercial variety, and relatively actually resistant to pests and diseases. I don't tend to lose much of them off the tree. I get most of them to ripen without much fuss compared to others. Apart maybe from the birds, you can't do much about that. But apart from obviously netting them, you have to net them. But I'm talking about, I'm referring more to insects, fruit flies, or just spoilage due to humidity and things like that. It does have a good resistance against those sort of things. It's actually number 2 after the Lebanese types. Wonderful. The wonderful pomegranate is the second best in terms of resistance. Okay, the third one here is Ben Hur, which is an Australian bred variety. Relatively new. I've had it for a couple of years. Again, it's very, very sensitive to pests and critters and diseases as well. I lose a lot of a lot of the fruits to the pests and diseases if I'm not on top of it in terms of spraying if you have to or netting it or so on. It's definitely not a a bulletproof variety in terms of growing, that's for sure. But it's pretty good. It's very productive. The taste is decent, but we're gonna taste it today as well, so we'll see how she goes. This is Lebanese number 2. Although it does look a little bit similar to Lebanese number 1, it's definitely a completely different variety. The areas or the berries inside are very different. These tend to be larger than the other one. The seed to flesh ratio is greater on these. You get more flesh, so a bigger sort of a berry inside compared to the seed, smaller seed. And they just grow a little bit differently. They are different, even though there's some similarities, but they are different. Excellent disease resistant as well. It's not as good as number 1 though. Number 1 is number 1 when it comes to disease resistance and bulletproof growing conditions. It's definitely the Lebanese number 1, and then number 2 is that one, the Lebanese number 2. When it comes to defense against pests and insects and so on. And then number 3 would be the wonderful. So I'm rating this right now according to the easiest to grow in terms of the disease and pests resistance. So you got number 1, Leb number 1 is the best. Number 2, Leb number 2 is the second best. Wonderful is the third best in terms of ease of growth and production, and protection against defense against the pests and diseases. Okay, I'm going to start opening now, and I'll see you back in a sec. All right, guys. So that's the lineup here. It's getting a bit late now. The sun has begun to set, so I've got to be quick. Okay, so from right to left, you have the Lebanese number 1. Number 2. The first one is number 2. This one here, you can see the color. It's a very rosy color. A light red to rosy sort of color. Then you have the Lebanese number 1 beside it. Similar looking, although it is a different variety. The berries on number 2 are slightly bigger than number 1, and the ratio of seed to flesh is bigger on number 2 than number 1. Though this is better against pests and diseases than number 2. Sorry. So number 1 is number 1 when it comes to that. And besides that, you got in my opinion, probably the best looking of the bunch, which is the Parfianka. I just love that dark, almost, what would you call that? Velvety, sort of almost black, blood red to black kind of color. They look like jewels, actually. They look, mashallah, amazing, just simply amazing. That's the Parfianka. And then next to that, you have the Azerbaijani. It's dark, not as dark as Parfianka though, but it is darker than the Lebanese type of pomegranate. Next to that is the Wonderful. That's probably the second darkest in color, the deepest, that is, second deepest color after the Parfianka. And then next to that you have the Ben Hur, which is probably the third deepest red in color. Okay. All right, Amir, I've got my little helper Amir here. and we're gonna taste it and see what we think. All right, Amir. Yeah, that's for you. We'll start with the Lebanese number 2. All right, let's go. Okay, 1 second, guys. All right, let's resume the video. Let's go with Lebanese number 2. Bismillah. Very sharp, acidic taste. It's got a strong, sharp, acidic taste. What do you think, Amir?
I like it because it's sour. I love my sour.
Yeah, he does love acidic things. Yeah.
I love it's so sweet, and I'm gonna call mashallah. It's so big. Like every time you see it, it's mostly the big ones.
Okay, you heard it from the horse's mouth. He loves the acidity of this thing. It's a very sharp, acidic note. Obviously, if you let it go even more, it becomes a little bit sweeter. But the acidity in it is very, very evident. Very evident. All right, let's go to Lebanese number 1 now. Okay, this is much sweeter than number 2, and the seeds are a little bit softer than number 2. It's a bit easier to eat. If you don't like the hard seeds, this is a little bit softer than number 2, but it is much sweeter than number 2. So it depends how you like your fruits. Number 2 was a very sharp, acidic notes. I would say it was like 60%, acidic and 40 sweet. This is maybe the other way around. Maybe 70% sweet to 30% acidic. What do you think, Amir? What do you think of that one?
It's sweet. I like it, and it's easier to eat because of the smaller
The
seeds.
seeds are softer.
Yeah, I can taste like water. It's like really juicy as well.
But would you, so far, would you choose number 1 or number 2?
Like number 1 in the number 1 Lebanese one. The first one we had.
Number 1. Okay, so far, number 1 is winning. I know exactly why. It's because he loves his acidity. I told you, our family just loves acidic things. We prefer acidic taste, sweet and acidic. So it can't be straight acidic, sour, and it can't be just sugar. It has to be a good balance. So far, he's picking number 2. I would probably agree as well. Lebanese number 2 is winning. It's the number 1 is a bit too sweet. If I had picked it earlier, it'll be a bit more sour, but at this stage, it's a little bit too sweet. All right, let's go now straight for the Parfianka, the one and only Parfianka. Eat a fair bit, All right, I'll let Amir judge it first. Then I'll say something.
It's easy to eat. I barely can taste any of the seed. Juicy again, but this one is more smaller than the other ones. So you get more of it instead of less of it.
Okay, yeah, so he was pretty close. So it is Parfianka. So you hardly feel the seeds. They're so soft, the seeds. They just almost melt away in your mouth. You barely touch them, bite on them, and they disappear between your teeth. So it's very pleasant to eat. What he means is that the actual berries themselves, I'll show you what I mean. You can see the size of the berries. Parfianka compared to the Lebanese, they're twice the size. They're extra large. The size of the berries on the Lebanese are extra large, much larger than the other varieties. And that's what he means. He means you gotta eat a lot more to get a satisfaction out of it, because the berries themselves are smaller than the others so far. But it's super soft seeded, so it's very pleasant to eat. It's got a very complex flavor actually. It's a very deep flavor. in my opinion, complex. So it's not just sweet and sour anymore compared to the other so far, where it's sort of a balance between sweet and sour. This is sweet and sour with some more depth to it. I don't know, some sort of berry, or deep sort of berry notes. You get a bit more depth out of this one. You do. So yeah, it's excellent. It's excellent. We'll see at the end what happens. All right, let's go to the Azerbaijani. Okay, what do you think, Amir? We've got to be quick because it's getting dark, but yeah, go.
This one is sweet. It's like candy
It
sweetness.
It's sweeter than the rest, yes.
Bigger. This one's super juicy. On it, you can see it's all juice. And I love it, but I love the first one we tried more. It's my favorite.
The Lebanese
Yeah.
number 2, the sour one. So the sour one, the Lebanese number 2, is still your favorite so far. Yeah, okay, yeah. I know why he's picking it so far still, because it's you get a lot more for your buck, basically, to put it simply. The berries are very large. They're very satisfying to eat. You don't need to eat a whole mouthful to be satisfied. You eat a few, and you get a lot of juice out of it, and a lot of satisfaction out of it. And it's the sharpest one so far. So the acidic notes are very evident in number 2, which he loves. But yes, Azerbaijan, it's probably the sweetest one so far. It's probably the sweetest one so far out of the lot. Very juicy, semi-soft. The actual seed itself is semi-soft. It's not too hard, not too soft. It's somewhere in the middle. Very juicy, but it is the sweet notes are probably the highest so far out of the rest. It's more sugary than the others compared to the acidic notes. Now let's go the reliable wonderful. Okay, it's nice. This thing, I find it's a bit of an all-rounder. You know, it's not the sweetest, but it's sweet. It's not the most acidic, but it is acidic. It's not the hardest seed, but it's in the middle somewhere. It's just it's an all-rounder, basically. It's an all-rounder. It's excellent. It is excellent. It's hard to dismiss it. You can't deny this variety. Wonderful. It is excellent to grow as well. Highly productive, consistently produces year after year. You don't lose much of it on the tree to pests and diseases, and the flavor is excellent. It's juicy. It's juicy. Like, it's sort of, the juiciness is in the middle somewhere, and the seed crunch is again in the middle somewhere. It's a good balance of acidic to sour sort of ratio. I like it. You can't deny it. You can't deny wonderful. What do you think, Amir?
It's not too sweet, but it's good sweetness if you don't have a sweet tooth, and not that juicy as much as the other one, especially Azerbaijan. That's probably the most juiciest one. Although I think this is probably better than the what's that called? One called Azerbaijani. I think it's better than that one.
Okay, there you go. You heard it from the master himself. Okay, so I think I know where he's going so far. Right, let's taste the last one, then we just judge them basically according to our taste buds. That is, So Ben Hur is the last one. Let's go. Okay. Very nice. Look, they're all excellent. Let's just put it out there. None of these varieties are actually bad pomegranates. They're all excellent varieties when it comes to taste. That is excellent. None of them are, it's rubbish. It's no good. They're all really good pomegranates. Some are better than others. They have better characteristics than others. Some might be juicier. Some might be more acidic. Some might have soft seeds, so on. And then there's the growing condition for each one. Obviously, some are better than others. So with this one here, it's on a bit on the sweeter side. A little bit on the sweeter side. It's juicy. The seed crunch is medium, I would say. The flavor is more sweet than sour. I would say maybe 80% sweet, 20% sour, acidic. But really good variety also in terms of flavor. Amir, go.
Sweet. It has a harder, what's it called, seed crunch.
Okay, so you were saying about the Ben Hur. So
Yeah.
it's juicy, a bit on the sweet side, and the seed crunch.
Crunch is more
a bit harder.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now that you've tasted them all, if you had to rate them, Amir, from 1 to 6, because there's 6 varieties, which one would you give? Number 1 to 6. Okay. Or the worst. Let's go worst to best.
Okay. So
say the worst one is number 6 favorite. My least favorite is.
My least favorite is probably this one. What's it called again? Oh,
Which one? This one? Parfianka.
Parfianka.
Parfianka is your least favorite. Okay, that's a new one. Okay, why?
It's too small. I want it big. I like it big. Probably too sweet. A little, not too sweet, but and
Sour enough,
yeah, not sour enough, of course. And I like the seed crunch. Hard. I like it like that.
Okay, there you go. So he likes it for different things. So he's saying that he likes the seed crunch. He wants a seed crunch. He wants the texture. Even though this is known for having soft seed, and that's why a lot of people like it. He's exactly the opposite. He's saying, no, I want that crunch. The fact that it's missing, it's a negative in my books. That's what he's saying. And also he's saying the actual berries themselves, the berries are a bit too small for him. He likes them big. He doesn't want to sit there and eat a whole fistful of pomegranate to get a hit. He wants to eat just a few to get the same sort of effect. So that's why he's rating it badly in his books, which is interesting. I haven't heard that before. So a good take on it. Okay, what's your number 5? So this was number 6, least favorite. What's your number 5?
Ben Hur. Ben Hur.
Ben Hur, this one here.
Yeah.
And why is that?
I want it more sweet. I like the seed crunch bar. It's good, but it's not that interesting for me. It's good enough size, but.
Okay, there you go. So he's saying it's just a bit boring for it doesn't have the wow factor, basically. It's not acidic enough, or it's not sort of big enough, or it's not. It's a little bit just in the safe lane, which is not good enough for him. Okay, what's number 4?
It's this. What's that one called? Wonderful. It's good. Small again. I like the sweetness, but good sweetness, and the seed crunch. All right, but overall, it's a good one. But it's my 4th least favorite.
Okay, so he's gone for the wonderful in the middle, which sounds about right. Look, wonderful is in the middle, in my opinion too. It's in the middle. You can't knock it. But it's not gonna win in terms of flavors. There are better flavored fruits, but it is excellent. It is excellent. It's in the middle, but the fact that it's so productive, consistently productive, and it's got good disease resistance and pest resistance, that's why usually it takes out number 1 in your garden, because of that fact. So it is an excellent variety. Okay, what's your 3rd least favorite?
It might be that Lebanese one.
Okay, the Lebanese number one. Oh, your door's coming after you now. Why Lebanese number one? Hard seed.
The Lebanese number one, hard seed. I like it, but sweet. I like it sour, and good. I like it. Like I will have it every day, but it's not my favorite.
Okay, yeah. So the number one is a bit on the sweet side compared to number two. Number two is a very sharp, acidic notes, and he loves that. So it's a little bit on the sweet side, and that's why he's given it number three. Is the third favorite. So I'm assuming number two is Azerbaijani. So your second favorite is Azerbaijani. Why?
I like the sweetness. I love my sweetness. Good seed crunch, and it's really good. I love how it's so juicy,
It is. Yeah.
and I would just have it every day, more than every day probably.
Okay, yeah, he loves the juiciness of it. It is very juicy. Azerbaijan is extremely juicy, and it's a little bit sweet, a bit more on the sweet side. Not too sweet. It's got a good balance of sweet to acidic notes. But I think he's going after the juicy factor. And such, so he likes it. And I'm assuming Lebanese number two is your favorite. Is it because it's it's got the most acidic, most sour taste?
Yes.
Yeah, you love sour things.
I love sour stuff.
Yeah, it's still got a bit of sweetness.
Yeah, you can taste a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but be more sour notes than sweetness, and it's so large. The berries, it's extremely large. Yeah, so you don't need to eat a lot to get a good hit of pomegranate. Is that right? So am I guessing right? Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're thinking. And yeah, look, you can't go wrong. I agree. Number two, yeah, look, for me, if I had to give number one from this batch, don't forget there's other factors as well. Look, the Parfianka, this particular one is a little bit on the small side. The actual fruit, they do get much larger, and thus the actual berries get a little bit larger. Still not going to be larger than the Lebanese. They're the largest out of the lot when it comes to the berries themselves. Even the fruit is they're large fruit as well. All right, so yeah, out of the 6 varieties, look, if I had to choose one, basically, out of today's batch, yeah, I would probably agree. I would probably go Lebanese number 2. This one, it was a pleasant, variety to eat for today. That is, pretty much every day as well. They're very large. Berries, very satisfying to eat. You don't feel like you're working for your bite. You just you put a few berries in there and it does the job. It just fills your mouth full of pomegranate juice. Beautiful pomegranate juice. Medium seed crunch, not too hard. And it is a little bit on the sharper side, which is to me is I like that. It means that if you leave it even longer to ripen even longer on the tree, it will get a little bit more, bit more sweeter, obviously. As much as I used to pick Parfianka, usually this one. But for today, no, I agree. The berries just do not compare to the Lebanese one. They're just too small. They're half the size of the Lebanese type of pomegranates. Not being biased here. I've usually picked Parfianka as my number one, even against the Lebanese ones. But it looks like this year it's hard. They're hard to beat, especially number 2. Number 1, Lebanese, the number 1. It's a bit too sweet for me, even for my son. Obviously, if you pick them earlier, it'll be a bit acidic. But yeah, it's a sweeter variety than number 2. Number 2 just hits the right notes for us. So yeah, I would go Lebanese number 2, and especially how easy it is to grow and carefree. Like I'm telling you, look at the thickness. So you see what I'm trying to tell you? Look at the thickness of the skin. See what I'm trying to say? Look how thick it is. Literally, it's about maybe 5 mil thick. That is very, very thick for a pomegranate. Look at Lebanese number 1, also about 5 mil thick. Now look at the Parfianka, the thickness of the wall. It's literally maybe 2 mils thick. compared to this one or that one. You see why nothing can penetrate them? And also, let's go look at another one. Look at the Wonderful. It's a little bit thicker than the Parfianka. It is a little bit thicker. Parfianka is extremely thin, and that's why it's so susceptible to pests and fruit flies and so on. So yeah, that explains why nothing harms these things. They're just super. They got bloody bricks for walls. That's what they have. These things. Very, very good defense mechanism. So I would say Lebanese number 2 is number 1. There's a bunch of them that are pretty much on par with each other. So basically what you have to do, I have to pick the growing conditions, how easy to grow, the variety, how easy it is to grow, and then I would have to judge it on that as well. You have to factor that in. You can't just judge it on taste alone. So as a whole, ease of growth, carefree, productivity. As an all-rounder, I would say, look, Lebanese number 2. I would give it to the Lebanese number 2. It's extremely easy. It's bulletproof. Nothing will harm it. It's very productive, very large fruit. The actual fruit size is very large. The berries themselves, it's larger than any other variety that I've come across. The actual berries inside of them. And we like the acidic notes that it has. Then number 2, I would say it's probably Wonderful. The fact that it's so productive year after year, very good variety in terms of taste, and it's an all-rounder. They're followed closely by Lebanese number 1. So Lebanese number 2, then Wonderful, then Lebanese number 1, and then I would say Parfianka is number 4. And then the other 2 I wouldn't be too fussy about, Azerbaijan and Ben Hur. I would pick Azerbaijan over Ben Hur. So for me, Ben Hur is the last. In terms of everything, in terms of taste, in terms of the growing habits, productivity, everything, it's probably last for me. Parfianka, you have to have a Parfianka because it's excellent. It is it's the softest seed out there, and it's got a very deep flavor. It's not just a good balance of sweet and sour. The depth of flavor is very, very unique. But it's hard to beat the giant size of this thing and just the ease of growth of this thing. And that's it for today. I think we passed our limit. It's a very long video, it would seem. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's the end of the story. So basically, Lebanese number 2. If you can get your hands on it. So not all of them are, even though they are similar, obviously they're different. The taste profile is completely different. Even the berries inside are completely different. They're just similar in appearance from exterior, but different varieties. Very different. So Lebanese number 2 is the winner. Wonderful, I would say number 2 for sure. As an all-rounder, number 2, and then it's between the Parfianka and Lebanese number 1, and so on. If you have liked the content, please give us a like, guys, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and we'll see you next time, inshallah.